Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Republic of Amalfi series. It is a new century, which is the 11th century, as we know that things have not been going well, at least militarily, on the Republic of Amalfi, where we fought in a war, not for territory, not for religious dogma, but for a trade post. It was a trade war, which we fought against the Republic of Ragusa, in which initially the war went well, as it was for the trade post in Lecce. I mean, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. That's in Italian language, but it's in the Duchy of Apulia area. As this trade post was owned by Ragusa, we tried to take it because there were some valuables over there, thanks to its shipments due to the member of the Great Trade League. Or at least one of its mayors that is a member of that trade league. As we take a good look at him. No, I don't think it was him. But, honestly, previous was in stewardship. Yeah, I figured it was him. Which he died some time ago, but I don't know if these shipments are supposed to be there still. No, it was the bishop who is the member of the Great Trade League. He's of a Mande culture, and he's a eunuch and a veteran crusader, and an architect. He's a lot of things, and has a very large smuggler operation. For a man in a cloth who indulges in trading, boy, that's a lot. Although he got himself hurt, probably from duels. As he's, I figured he was a former commander before they had to take him off command because of that missing hand, and his combat skills no good anymore. But hey, he did it to make this area rich, and that's why that trade post became an attractive target here. Although we were planning on taking the war to Ragusa, and apparently it did not end well, as now he has a large amount of money that I just gave it to him. 800 gold to him in war reparations, since I'm the one that started it. And so yeah, it was not a good look for Ragusa. It was more of an embarrassment loss than a really severe damage to our national pride, because of, you know, we're a republic and we fought against a rival republic and we lost that one. And the Ragusas can now spend their money very well to get for whatever they may need for their amenities and all that, even if they have to hire mercenaries during wartime. And that's another thing, mercenaries. The reason why we lost that war is, well, other than it was my stupid idea, as I was not educated in military matters, plus I'm a slothful idiot. Well, not exactly an idiot, you're bright. Hence the +1 unknown sources part. You were born bright. My weapons are good. I was among the best commanders. The problem lied with, well, we don't have any superior commanders. We have good fighters, but bad... No. They're just good, competent commanders, but they're not as great as I am. Or as great as my father. Surprised the old man is still around. Despite all this, he's a respected commander and still the domain overseer, in which we need to get to work on the stability in a moment, because that's something we'll have to address soon. We lost that war because we were, although technologically on the military, we weren't necessarily outclassed by Ragusa, but they do have better military organization than we do. They have a slightly higher morale of armies and land organization, as well as more retinues, and that's something that's needed. Retinues. But save that for Neapolis. Or Napoli. Sorry, I have a habit of using Greco-Italian names and terms here. Now I can finally apply this technology points here in this case. Improve the siege equipment, as well as to improve on siege defense around here. But now let's get to work here. There is a disease nearby, smallpox. It has not entered here yet, but unfortunately there are things that has caused a decrease in disease resistance. One of which is due to a smuggler's ring. They infest an area, so things are more expensive to build, and it takes longer to build something. While in Acera, there's a peasant unrest because of that marshal, and it's also a volatile province. And in Avessa here, also volatile. There's also a thieves guild, smugglers, and highway robber band. It's crime-ridden over there. So basically, this area where I often govern, and even into Amalfi, which is not immune to that, it has fallen on hard times. Now we don't know if this disease that will come here is going to be the representative of what is considered hard times. Hard times is because we don't have much money, because I had to take a large loan in which we'll have to make all this money again, especially with recovering the retinue back into size, and we'll have to repay those loans one bit at a time, unless you need to get up to at least 500 to repay this loan with interest by that time, and eventually gotta repay the another loan to the Jewish moneylenders. And maybe one day we will reform the Amalfi and Maritime laws, which it doesn't cost much. As I said, Amalfi has fallen into hard times, but will this smallpox enter the area, as we have no disease resistance and 9% disease resistance in Acera? Could it be a representative to, as I said many times? So let's hope for anything good. But as we take a look at my council, there are 1 pragmatist, 2 glory hounds, 1 zealot, 1 adaptive, and 4 moneymakers. Although you're not as good, Marshal, but there's the city guard here. I would like for him to get his job back. I'll check back in a year and get a much better steward. Because heaven forbid that smugglers enter the domain. So that's what the situation is like in the Republic. So let's just get down to business as we fall on hard times. To Magus Landar. Oh, by the way, I'm the Magus now. I must say, dear colleague, I cannot fathom how you get along without a proper assistant. My own is both bright and obedient. Not once I have detected the stench of alcohol upon her breath. Take my advice and find an apprentice of my own. So that's what he says, so... find an apprentice, so must assign an apprentice to minor tile screens, or keep their eyes open for promising people to appear to complete this mission. So either get an apprentice now, or wait for it. But my only priority now is just to try to make all this money again. So, Lupus, the stars say that you are a destined schemer, even though you are absent-minded. But it appears that it looks like it'll be the thing for you. Clear childhood focus. Not education focus, childhood focus. I didn't know you could do that. Son of a beeswax. Gonna have to assign you a guardian. Someone who knows a lot about intrigue. Sister Serenhelt. She knows a lot about intrigue. So for now, do not spend money at all. But also, you know what? When I switch this focus next year, I know what I'm going to do. Because I need to get my focus on getting rid of that slothful trait. It's going to cause more harm than good. So I'll abandon this ambition to win a war. I could forge a bloodline, but... I'll tell it again in 10 years. Maybe I'll forget about it. Because I'm not that as great as some people would think. I'd like to change the province's culture because the Langobard culture spread to any province within my realm. Because the issue with that is Amalfi itself is still Greek. I'd like for it to become Langobard. Greeks are becoming a minority, but the patrician families, you know, Greeks won't go away. Wish they would adopt our culture. Also ransom these 2 prisoners for war. Get them out of here. Because 1, I can't recruit, and 2, the guy's too stupid. Pitiful Doge, and the other says great Doge. Ah! Shut the gates! Shut the gates! Smallpox is here. Some commoners already gathered outside as my guards started closing the gates. Decisive thumps. Signs of the curious chatter coming from the other side. Sail it! Guess that means we won't be holding a grand debate. When this disease blows over, we'll hold a grand debate. A talented individual. My pious court chaplain told me there's a very talented individual of low-born origins that could be a very fitting addition to my court. After letting the information sink in, he proceeded to suggest that I approach this character to know what he wants. Of course, asking for a simple courtier to come to my court is not the most prestigious of actions. Joey. Do I really need to make these people mad because I already, you know, just said don't care about lowborns? There's a disease out here, don't you know? Try again later. Guess what I said indeed is true. Amalfi has fallen on hard times. We lost the war. Corruption has spread, especially in the northern half of the Republic, in Acera and Adversa. No, I need a serpent title. No, I have to save the money. I have to pay the loan. I can't be thinking about usurping titles. Where did the disease came from again? Tripolitania. Oh, son of a beeswax. It came from down there and it made its way up here. Xena, my spouse, approached me claiming she nurtured a dream for a long time. That dream was to start a great voyage to unknown lands, to discover new cultures, customs, and religions. To my surprise, she wants to travel as far away as Sultan Umar of the Shirazi Kingdom. A very long journey indeed. Again, we used to love each other, and now you hate me, and the pulling diplomacy doesn't help. Because I had a political defeat at a debate and all that. There's no need to tell her no, otherwise I would make myself look stupid. You're free to go, my darling. Just as I said, we don't like each other, so you can go now. So let's look at her. Depends on many factors. To relate to my spouse, she does not have a stewardship education. She is not greedy, not shrewd. She is diligent. What else? Dim slope. Wait a minute. Unknown source -1. She is dim. Okay. That's a bit of a middle. What else? Lacks diplomacy. Education. The opinion of me isn't as good as it used to. That's another handicap. She is, she has a learning education, but the learning stat is pretty good. And as well as sexual compatibility with the visited characters. Used to be my lover. She is lustful. Ugh. I don't know about this. I mean, I don't have a diplomacy education. I'll shy. Finally, also weighing the negativity is the visited character trait, lustful. If the laws of the realm are not permissive regarding the status of women, I will suffer the opinion penalty about every male character among my vassals. That the court status of the women in my realm is not very developed, and allowing my wife significant freedoms. I look weak among my court vassals. Well, what about reconsidering? So, I do not have a diplomacy education, and my diplomacy deteriorated as there's disease out there. I am not shrewd. I am not gregarious. God dang it! It's basically a lose-lose situation, but I'll just say you're free to go. Even though she's on a journey right now. But, she could just get the heck out of here. I want nothing to do with it anymore. Sicily still retains control. Oh, anyways, this man's a warlock, you say? The voice. Yep, definitely burn him. I don't usually do that. A leopard named, Percrant. What kind of name is that? Langobard, of course. He's arrived at court today. With the leper colony in Amalfi being crowded already, he has nowhere to go, now begs for my aid. What good are you to me, other than say you could stay here for now? Also, we gotta pay our interest, pay the interest on our loans. 10% interest. We still gotta make that money back. Gotta get up to 500 gold, then we can repay the entire loan. That's the best option that we have now. Over the past months, the thought of an apprentice has been at the forefront of my mind. I've considered my advisors, but I dare say not one of them seemed to fit the role. However, one of my servants caught an eye. This Hermetic Linda is an attentive woman with steady hands and a good head on her shoulders. After all, she is from the learned caste. Just ambitious from... Yeah. She knows how to obey, at the very least. I have a good feeling about this. With neophyte Linda as my apprentice, I'm sure to uncover many a secret. Perhaps I shall have it to perform the great work, the Magnum Opus. Bright times are ahead. See, when you do missions, like they want to get an apprentice, and if you're in the trade league, they tell you to get an apprentice. Don't pick one from the court. Wait it out. You'll get more of the points like that. Esoteric knowledge and access, respectively. Anyways, the more I think about it, the more ridiculous it seems. A Doge having a rival that's so much beneath me. Seems a little bit silly of me to hold him as my rival. Well, he is from Ragusa. Oh, God. Indeed, there is a little point in this rivalry. Let's try to talk. Can't we all just get along? Disease has even spread to Rome, I see up there. And my only other rival is another patrician who's of Anubrian origin from the Republic of Urbino. Yep, they did put the blind pope in there. Everybody wants him because he's zealous. Perfect shape. Mango. Is that so? That's because the suitability of him is because age, learning, piety, all that. Ah, dear. Ludberger feels I risk too much if I escape. He said, try to persuade me to stop risking my life. Such a thrill. Damn smugglers, that's what caused it in. But at least there's no smugglers ringing out, sir. That's why disease has not come there. A little bit of money. Oh, that reminds me. Need to find a domain resource in Amalfi itself. Soto. Novice fighter. Cut it out. While carrying out my duties for the Hermetic Society, I've met Adept Pancratios on several occasions. The encounters have never ended well. One would be hard-pressed to find more unsympathetic character. I suspect he's spreading lies behind my back to damage my reputation. A Greek Sunni, who is deaf but a lip reader. He's my rival now. Been making a lot of enemies in this society. You know, I'm the Magus. But it's things like these that makes me feel like I'm such a pompous ass. I try to get a good night's sleep, but I'm tormented by horrible recurring nightmares of our people. The pleas for help and the hurtful words began to get to me. I just want to survive this. Well, there goes the brave trait. Now you have room for a new trait. I know what my next focus is going to be, and it's possibly the only other way to become diligent instead of being slothful. Just wait till July and you'll find out what it is. Right of way given. As Doge, I'm in a unique position to strike against the Constantinos family, my old enemies. Striking at them directly might draw the ire of the other patrician families, whose continued favor is necessary to cement my dynasty's rule over the Republic, however. The Constantinos still enjoy a lot of support in many quarters of Amalfi, but new insidious ways of hurting them are now open to me with my current office. I've managed to tarnish their family's name and standing through an intensive lobby campaign. Heed the words of the Doge. Not Prodo Doge. Oh my goodness. This is from the old Children's Crusade. With the death of Longchek, his misguided attempt to lead the crusade to the Holy One will never come to pass. All the children and peasants who had flocked to the banner of this boy scattered to the four winds. They lament the loss of their beloved leader, still unable to grasp why God would allow him to be killed before accomplishing his divine task. As unfortunate as death was, it has undoubtedly saved the lives of countless people who would have otherwise followed the child into the maws of certain doom at the hands of the infidels. Well, that's because he died of complication with delicate physique. He was the leader of the Children's Crusade, and I guess he lived a pretty good life. All things considered, he was a virtuous man, though despite the homosexuality. But I totally forgot. Wait a minute. Yes, he's Scottish, but he became Greek cultured. Such a violent end for such a young boy. Yeah. Dying for complications of delicate physique sounds violent to me, but no. That's just a human body failing him. You're never too old to lead to a crusade. I was extremely worried when my zenith, after finally arriving together with a few dignitaries from Zoldanumar of the Shirazi Kingdom, merely announced that she was taking all steps to sell some of our assets to help the magnificent host of her. How much money? Let me see. Though a considerable influence, my spouse decided to sell different assets I would come to cause a significant dent in my finances. 100 gold? Oh, that's not terrible. I was expecting worse. But everyone in the court right here, right now will say, well, that's unwise of you. And she hasn't lost... she'll gain the wanderlust. I'm sure she'll be fine, but... do I really need to get angry over that? Because I would confront my spouse in a forced way to prevent this leak in my coffers. I don't have a martial education. I am not rough, not cruel, not envious, not craven, nor charitable, nor... I don't have any of those traits. And my spouse isn't really good at intrigue. Actually, slightly better than me. Because she's lustful. At the basic I'll get in my highest stations, the chances slightly stack against my spouse. For carriages about it, chance of getting her off trade does not affect the outcome of this option. This public carriage. This is not going to end like this. Now I become wrongful. That's no good. That makes the diplomacy skill worse. Countering my spouse's decision with energetic and effective reaction came naturally to me. In the end, she never stood a chance as my willpower and highest station post themselves. Enough of this rubbish. She gets to have the wanderlust, but you don't take any money out of me. I have to repay that loan, you know. A convoy flying the Ursal Standard was ambushed by pirates today, while on their way home with their holds full of precious cargo. Thanks to the quick action of their crews, they managed to turn the tables on the pirates and capture 2 of their galleys. The prize money will be divided evenly, but the lion's share goes to me. Finally, some good news. Like it or not. But the Pope says no. The Pope says no, because despite her lustfulness, but she's more virtuous than I am. We used to love each other, and now we're... I fear things are going to get worse before it's going to get better. But I can't repay that loan because I'm in seclusion. But if you're going to spend on something, spend little. Well, like that's a little too much. Think. Oh, yeah. May want to save that up a little more. Disease is almost gone from Amalfi. Pay the interest. Be patient. The disease will come and gone. As with most things in life. All that happened is I lost my bravery and I've become more angry. You know, that's the opposite of the patient trait, wrath. So I still have 4 traits, but I'm a cynic, I'm lazy, and I'm angry. What happened to me? What happened to me? I was a decent person. Now I'm just a lazy bum with anger issues. You forgot something. Switch your focus. I know what my focus is going to be. Need to keep the marshal up for the security of the Republic. Go for hunting. Perhaps hunting will make me more diligent. I can go on a grand hunt whenever we're out of this damned thing. But you can only hold a great hunt on certain time of the month. It has to be greater or equal to September and less than November. In other words, you can only hunt during September and October. The village in Advessa has a giant tree that was planted many generations ago to provide shade for the locals. It's been something of a popular site for people to visit, and some of my court suggest I could donate some funds to assist in caring for the tree. For the next 30 years, Adversa will have a giant shade tree. One of the villages is famous for its giant shade tree. Even those from neighboring villages further away come to enjoy themselves under this mighty tree. Lord Nikifos Mantegalari. Father-in-law. Hey. But the problem is you're too little. Sorry, but no. We should look for an alliance. You're becoming weaker these days. Become more isolated. Disease in Aversa is gone, but it's only a matter of time before disease in Amalfi will be gone. You've been single this whole time. You got a lover? Whose child is this? Aha! Son of a beeswax. If you want to get married, well, why didn't you say so? But I'm not going to take it out on my sister. Now, if it was my daughter that was doing that, even though she's way too young for that. Stop! Disease is gone. Open the gates. I gotta repair this. Appalling diplomacy is no longer affecting us, but man, oh man. Wait for it. Okay, now. Coward, lack of willpower, disapprove of depth. That's what's been happening to me lately. Now, I will start appealing to you, as you are a patrician of many, many places. By the way, this is the only cluttered item I have. It's rare to find a glass mirror that is cleared like this one. Increases the intrigue, diplomacy, general opinion, and sex appeal. Again, stole it from the man. That's why he was my rival. So I forcefully took his artifact. You don't get stuff like these anymore. Alright, let's finally repay that large loan. There. Now it's out of my life. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hold a grand debate for all members of the Hermetic Society to join, spending several days discussing and arguing in the name of knowledge and learning. We're ready. It'll cost you 100. As I expect many members of the Hermetic Society to appear for the grand debate, it is of utmost importance that everything is to be flawless as possible. In this spirit, the preparations are well underway. My staff has seen to the lodgings, and the chef has stocked up the larders. All that is left now is to send out the invitations. Bring me my most trusted courier. Lupus, before I talk to you, I am told by the educators that my son Lupus remains interested in the intrigue. Turning my eyes upward, I gave a solid nod to the heavens, thanking the stars for their guidance. I believe the heavens have a plan for Lupus. He is destined for it. It's going to be his focus, and will be educated by my sister. So, yes. Yes, indeed. Now, I took a good look at myself and thought about my weaknesses and strengths. After many hours of soul searching, I realized I have many strengths, but more weaknesses. That sounds a lot like him. My father, 66 years old. He has sent me a gift. It is a small puppy, but of the finest pedigree and is destined to grow to a great hunting dog. I'll accept this gracious gift. I need that for more diplomacy. Why on earth would I name my dog Lucifer? I am not that much of a bad guy. I'm just misunderstood. But I'll name him Hunter. Because I want to get into hunting. Now, Siko. It is said that you are, the stars say you are to be a destined scholar, because you're usually seen carrying a book under your arm. Well, I guess a learning education will be for you. But I'd rather educate you myself, because I have that education, and I'm a tutor. Perhaps I could teach you the best education that this country can have. Nobody is more wiser than I am. A local confectioner has developed a special new candy, which he calls it candy apples. These apples are covered in an entire layer of hard sugar, and people, they say they are quite a tasty treat. The confectioner, never seen that word before. He has given me some samples, free of charge. Yes, thanks. So a little more diplomacy as I'm eating good food. About time. Eat some good food and have your diplomacy, reputation, get it back up. Because, the grand debate's coming up. Candy apples. Isn't that sliced apples or whatever? Is that part of the Italian cuisine or Germanic cuisine? Does anybody eat candy apples? I'm asking you, viewers. Let me make a horoscope out of you. I know you won't be succeeded at it, but I got so much esoteric knowledge, so let's have a look at you before I will choose a focus for you. But anyways, guests are arriving this very moment. It's time for the grand debate to begin and spend the next few days to have each and everyone display their knowledge to decide who is the best of us is. Let the debate commence. So the stars hold many secrets, but are not indecipherable. Using the right instruments and a frame of mind, I'll uncover the destiny of Kotani. Why haven't you assigned a treasury guard, you dummy? I'm surprised you survived the disease. But anyways, I'll address you at the moment, apprentice, after this debate. So we'll prepare tools and instruments for the long nights ahead. After spending many nights analyzing moving stars, I noticed Jupiter move into the sign influencing my daughter Kotani. I'm fairly certain that indicates that she is destined for the battlefield, and a combat prowess uncommon among members of court. What? That doesn't sound like her. And plus, just to reiterate, in the Dark Ages mod, women with martial education are very rare, unless there's a country that has a full status of women, or they're allowed to be commanders. And when they have a martial education, they cannot. Which they can be, but if there is a country that doesn't have full status of women, then that means even if they have a martial education raised, they will automatically be switched to either diplomacy, stewardship, intrigue, or learning. For once, I'll say, that's not what I have in mind for her. I will seek to discourage these tendencies. Your focus is going to be one for thrift, tutored by artisans and merchants focusing on mathematics and invention. Anyways, after a tough day full of debates, I find myself alone in a corridor. Curiously, I spot some notes forgotten on the floor. The notes speak of the interaction between the soul and alchemy. This is great. I could use these notes for my next debate. Well, I have more confidence in my own work because I am very wise. No need to take somebody else's work. The bishop wants to have a seat in the council. You want to be the steward? Well, he's certainly better than mine. I'll see what I could do, but I'm in the middle of something. You're definitely not going to be one of martial prowess. Huh. Okay. You sure it has improved? No. Serenhild shall remain unmarried for the rest of her life. I believe she's better to be a spy master's. Despite the fact that she's tall and groomed, but she's been very good to me. Anyways, I've been declared the winner of the grand debate, showing all that no one is as knowledgeable as me or has the ability to put forth arguments quite like me. The sweetest of all sounds is praise. I win the money and the prestige and gain some esoteric knowledge. Let me see, where is it? Besides my dog, that helped me with the diplomacy. Where the heck is it? Maybe a field people. Thank you, candy apples. Because not only I'm wise, but diplomacy skill may have contributed to it, that by luck. Ah! After several long days of discussions and much debating, the grand debate is over now. There might have been a few heated arguments, but I think most attenders agreed that it was a learning experience. A most successful event. So, we won't be able to hold a grand debate until another 5 to 10 years, I believe. Not been held in the past 10 years. Okay. See you in 10 years, when I turn 45. Don't do that, because that one kind of caused the glitchiness of it, as I recall. Yes. Let's reform the Amalfi and Maritime laws, now that we're back in charge. We know that Matsonen the First is the one that... No, it was grandfather. He was the one that founded the Maritime laws, so now let's reform it. Through the Tabula Amalfidana, or the Amalfian laws have served us well for many years, we have decided to reform the laws, add and remove things where needed, and clarify aspects that may have been confusing or contradictory, and so on. It is an immense effort, given the complexities of maritime law, but this endeavor has certainly been worth it. Hopefully the Amalfian laws will continue to provide a standard for the rest of the world for years to come. Amalfi should be proud. There you go. Here's your diplomacy, here's your stewardship. And Amalfi itself, with its recent reform for the next 50 years. And the trade value up too. The Tabula Amalfidana reforms. At the urging of Doge Landar of Amalfi, the people of Amalfi decide to reform the so-called Tabula Amalfidana, or the Amalfian laws. The importance of this maritime code cannot be understated, as many port cities have for years used as a basis for their own maritime laws, or even adopted wholesale. Now, these recent efforts to modernize the laws and make them better suited for contemporary conditions can only be applauded. It is certain that with these reforms, the Amalfian laws will continue to provide a standard for the rest of the world to follow. Let's hope that this will help us with our business. Yes, sirree. Stop it, you two. Now, what else am I missing? As I said, yes, the Republic's fallen on hard times, but we'll try to get rid of the crime and the volatility before someone's going to get killed. But in the meantime, I'm going to write a theorem paper. Oh, don't worry about it. I will make an extraordinary effort. No expense shall be spared. I might gain stressed or ambitious, but focusing on theorem paper until next year, and the stewardship will go down a bit. So let's do it. Get to work on it. And in the meantime, I've called upon my apprentice Hermetic Society to help me gather the ingredients that are needed for further studies of the mysteries in the world. But first I needed to decide what kind of ingredients we need. Well, since I have a hunting focus, so in the forest we will hunt for the most prized animal parts. Start to gather a small hunting party to join me in the forest. Oh, and by the way, should invite her to the night of stargazing and studies in an attempt to better understand how it works. It's also a good opportunity to get to know each other. I'll be multitasking here, and don't worry about the in-depth. We'll make that money much faster again. But from now on, save your money to give it back to the Jewish moneylenders. Oh, not this crap again. There are other ways to cater to the interests of the Republic. I have so much prestige. Your invitation arrived as a very smooth surprise. I would be honored to study with you and prepare for my journey shortly. Fellow initiate. Well, at least you're patient and ambitious, so you're pretty eager to learn. That's why I didn't want to have an alliance with you, because you are infirm. Sorry, father-in-law. Together with a small band of hunters, Hermetic and I have set out to hunt animals in the forest in an attempt to gather animal parts. These ingredients will be invaluable in experiments to understanding the aspects of the world. Our combined hunting experience should make this easy. Even though I have a hunting focus, I'm more hunter than often found nearing the sparring grounds. Kotani is surprisingly apt with a spear. Of course, the wooden thing is merely a toy, but the faces of my commanders during the practice with her hints surprising talent in the girl. No, no, no! You can't be a fighter. Women are not allowed to serve in the Amalfi military. This is not the path I choose for, so I will increase my efforts to steer to another direction in life. You can't have a martial education. Ah, Lupus. You might be good with intrigue. You might have a very good intrigue education by the end of all this, but I don't think you'll be the designated heir in the future. Anyways, a mysterious Jewish man is offered service to court. He is well versed in feudal court intrigue and has a past as a both mercenary and a spy. If he can be trusted, he could very well prove to be an indispensable asset of my council. Indeed. Sorgo. Let's have a look at you. Sorgo Casca. Oh my goodness, way better than Serenhill. But people would look at me suspiciously if I make him the educator, but he admires the liege, so he's a loyal servant, but all the other things, well, that's going to be an issue, but he's a master schemer. Just stick around, you might be needed one day. Anyways, my guest Hermetic Society has finally arrived. I've been looking forward for the two of us to getting together and review the work of each other. There's still some time before nightfall, however. I have a few suggestions how we could spend the time. It's time not studying or a feast, but since I have an observatory. Have you seen my observatory? Want to look at the stars? We're supposed to be stargazing. I showed Hermetic Society the way to the observatory. When we stepped inside, she gazed in wonder at the various tools. She went on to ask about the different instruments and how to use them. at which times I'm more likely to see the stars more clearly. The questions kept coming for a while. I'm glad she liked it. She's impressed. My dog is growing quickly and is no longer a little puppy. He runs fast and has a keen nose. My dog handlers praise his good character. Good dog. So I got a pet dog and a pet owl. Now if I had a cat, then who the heck am I? You know, cats and dogs don't get along. Cats would most likely catch an owl. Oh dear. Peasant revolt. And they can't defend themselves. What? Oh my goodness, I have forgotten about this. I can't pay that. Listen, I'll postpone the payment for 3 more years. Don't mind me. Your culture, you make good tax income. You'll make all that money back. And so will I one day, so. As I said, for God's sake, stop spending money. What have they done to piss these people off? Restless, rebels-funded, incompetent ruler? A physical manifestation of God appeared in a remote village. Crazy's going on. Now, night is almost upon us, and the first stars are finally making themselves visible on the sky outside. I should tell Hermetic Society that it is time. Time to see if we can uncover new secrets. We should get ready. Make the needed preparation for the coming night. I was writing down some notes when I heard Hermetic Society speak behind me and turned to face her, and she wanted to explain a theory of how the zodiacs are connected with each other and how they are aligned in a certain way. Yes, interesting thoughts. Whoa, my goodness. This is good. This needs military organization stat and the infantry. And one day try to spread the tech to Asera, my secondary home. Maybe one day we'll get the tolerance up to significant status of women. That would be grand. Now you're paranoid. After spending tonight together with Hermetic Society, I feel like we've come quite close. Seems to complement each other perfectly, and both of us are really having a good time. Get a new friend. Although she had a fearful vision from the scrying. The forest is full of wild animals, even though they are elusive creatures. Our cunning is more than enough to find the hiding places. Some of these parts prove used. One animal part? Got a liver. You got valerian, mandrake, and liver. Dawn is upon us as the first light appears on the horizon. I think we can agree that the night was an immense success. We took up plenty of notes and learned a thing or two. Maybe we'll have an opportunity to continue our combined research in the future. Let us do this again sometime. We have received a large shipment of serpentine wood from our business contacts. While it is common to export this lumber elsewhere, given the abundance of wood from the Sorrentine Peninsula, perhaps we can make use of this wood for our own purposes. We're desperate for cash, alright? There's a lot of things I kind of want to spend, so sell it to someone. We have more than enough here. I can't really be reducing our cost and build because there's smugglers around here. And I'm in no mood of going to any kind of war, so sell it. Those guys who are running that peasant revolt up there in Monte Sant'Angelo, they'll ruin everything. CK2 is stubborn. And the Pope just died, and the new Pope is in. Conian. Gout. Oh, he's not going to be around for long either. Quick. Put the campaign fund. The expected next carnival will be of ours. From Amalfi, as we still have one there. He's getting to that age. Alright, time to go hunting. Enough time, just in time, too. So go on a grand hunt with the best hunters in our domain. So you need 25 gold for this. So. I've given the order for the grand hunt to be organized in Amalfi. I'll find a white stag. The hounds were more alert this morning than I've ever seen before. Something stupendous must be waiting for us. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Didn't get wounded. There was a small chance of that happening anyhow. Oh, finally. Acera is no longer volatile. Now we can put a crown focus over here. The dogs have caught a scent of a boar in the forest. This is a chance of getting a mighty boar slain. This is your chance to become diligent. This is to replace Slothful with this. This is how you're supposed to get the diligent trait. I gotta go hunting more often. In other words, I have to go out and hunt often. I will face it alone with my spear. Of course, no effect other than prestige, of course, so... Didn't pick up a trait, I didn't get injured. All good. My mother just died of a natural death. Miss you, Big Mama. The grand hunt is over for now. This was a truly noble endeavor and a true challenge for our martial abilities. I am proud of my hunting abilities. It is finished despite the extraordinary effort I have made. I have produced an entirely average paper on the Philosopher's Stone. It explores the object and its powers of transmuting cheap metal into gold, as well as how to create it. All that is left is to submit it to my Hermetic peers for review. Send it out at once. Now please save your money to pay off that loan. Marshal of Sorrento. We'll throw him in a dungeon. Thank you very much, just out of favoritism. Not good enough. But you're my cardinal. He's being childish. His light-hearted nature's caused some embarrassment. What's the matter with you? Despite he's in prison, but he knows. Everybody's mostly saying yes. That's what I like to see. Again, I gotta get it back to free investiture one day. Gotta start pleasing you again. You'll be one of the state inquisitors. Apparently you were in the Chinese Academy. I would only do that if any of my children were either shrewd or quick or a genius. But you can't tell on that now, can't you? Zolto is a trained fighter. Alright, possessed a great mind for this. Spend little, but this is just a switch of focus. The lack of diplomacy is becoming an issue, so we're gonna stick with this industry again. An old woman passed away in Amalfi recently. Though a humble villager, this beloved grandmother of all lived a very long time, more than a century some claim, and was of humble and virtuous temper, doing her best to guide a community and provide wisdom to all. She has received visitors even from local nobles from other villages nearby. There have already been claims that her spirit will bless these lands for many years to come. For the next 20 years, beloved grandmother's passed away. Grandmother of all. That's that nickname. My fellow members of the Order sometimes speak of intricate charms and recipes to ward off evil. Perhaps I should take precautions too, considering the stars of the Virgo. I nod to myself. The Valerian on my shelves might be taking up too much space in the laboratory. This is foolish paranoia. Need those ingredients. You may never know when they could be used. Find a Hermetic text. Great. Where? The local antiquary. Scroll hidden in the Church of Jafara, or ancient library ruins of Valencina and Bresca. I like those chances. What did I tell you about that? You idiot. I'm telling myself to be an idiot. Why don't you spend little and not spend too much? Your reliance on trade is one thing, but you heavily spending on things that may not succeed, that's just wrong. Tassilo, you're a dusted diplomat, you say, but it says that you're much better at Stewart. What happens if I do that? And the only one who excels at diplomacy education is, I almost said, nobody. But no, that would be my friend. My competent steward approached me one day with a suggestion I call my vassal to explain how well my realm is working. Widow thinks I can present my case and win over my vassals to my arguments, thus increasing the opinion of myself. Well, here's the problem. My stewardship skills, I don't have the education. I am not diligent. This is a... Oh, no way. I'm slothful, I'm wrathful. No way I'm not doing that. You're setting it up to fail. You're setting up for failure. While pondering over the guest list for the banquet, I wonder if I should invite my old friends. Of course, my old man. My biography of Muhammad has become very old and worn for many years of handling. Now it barely holds itself together. Shall someone pay someone repaired? How much? 25? Okay, reasonable. But I still want to get rid of that diligent trait. I rushed around trying to get everyone to work harder, not smarter, to get everything ready for the banquet. When the guests started to arrive, waited impatiently for but I still did my best to make sure my every guest would feel welcome and find its designated place at my table. He told me how glad my invitation had made him. Stop. Oh yeah, this banquet that I'm having. Or one of those missions. Neighbor. Young man. Sign non-aggression pact? Well, of course my wife would be visiting. You know how she's like. Oh, that modifier of out of touch will soon go away, so maybe we'll get along again. So we'll sign a non-aggression pact with Kapua. No need for that. I think inviting some of us to an activity we could do together would help us grow closer. I'm not entirely sure what kind of activity I should suggest. Well, I'm a hunter, so a hunt will be perfect. Well, you have a martial education. I'm a learning guy, but you're into that sort of thing. Zolto Urso's been blessed with a muscular and imposing physical appearance. He's burly. Well, he's more of a fighter, but they say he's a destined diplomat. Okay, guess he's not coming. My father has passed away, and I just inherited all his money. And I got the old armor back. Put this on. Certainly better. Well, the old man, I was about to say, well, he kicked the bucket and I inherited all that money. Now I could pay off to the moneylenders. Alright. I'm happy. I'm a happy person. Oh, I forgot. Search the domain for resources. There's many more things I forgot. I have neglected my duties, both as a minister and Hermetic Society. Let's search the domain for resources. In Amalfi, of course. Searching for resources in my domain will involve a long and expensive expedition, but has potential to bring a lot of ducats or goods for years to come. I will receive reports from survey teams for every few months. Let's send the first survey team. But I'm not naming any designated area yet. I want all these boys to grow up, so I will decide. Plus, I need loyalists. You want to be the steward? You got it. There, you got one loyalist on board. Because I'm really anxious to get that. Don't forget you have great counselors too. But there are some that are returning favors that might go against it. But it expires in a few years. So let's not rush into that. And when you all boys grow up, you will all get married. All at once. There is one more thing. Catacombs. The vast complex of dungeons is hidden away deep enough below the palace to block the cries of its unfortunate inhabitants. Every imaginable instrument of torture can be found within these cold and dark chambers. This increases the martial skill just a tad bit for anyone who's of this house. There, you spent big. Now stop doing that. What else I could save my money for? Okay. There's something about Seiko. When you look at him, I don't know why, but it's pleasant to the eye. One just doesn't want to stop looking. He is comely. It is in my family's blood, after all. Yeah, let's try this smuggle operation once again. See if we can have it set up. Our expedition to foreign lands certainly encounters our share of difficulties. We dealt with everything from unfavorable weather to lame horses. By the end, the fraudulent guide was nailed in the coffin. When he escaped our last gold, we've also discovered we were on the wrong side of curses! Not curses. There's one thing I forgot. Since you have so much esoteric knowledge. You know what you haven't done yet? You have not... Well, damn, I can't choose a Hermetic art because I have one of its lifestyles. Renowned physician. But I can write a Magnum Opus, so... Figuring that I've done so well for this society, so I will record my life's work for posterity in an encrypt Magnum Opus. Secluded in my writing desk, quill in hand, and plenty of bottle of ink nearby, I find myself staring down on a blank parchment. The sheer skill of the task upon which I'm about to embark dawns upon me. I need to record my knowledge, but also to hide it from those who are unworthy. It will take a great deal of time and effort, but it will be glorious. I'm writing a Magnum Opus for the next 2 years. It may take 2 years. Oh, no, you don't. Son of a beeswax. But they don't want to imprison him because many people favors him. I just shake my head at him. And we can't make him look like a bad guy. The man's a master of intrigue. Maybe he's been getting these favors by getting hooks on them and all that. Maybe that's what he's been doing. That man is going to steal my money if I don't do something about him. I can't excommunicate him either. Well, at least he's not a member of any faction, but he and I are going to have issues soon. Remember, save a lot of your money. There's this another loan you're going to have to repay. I am told by the educators that my son CK2 remains interested in scholarship. Turning my eyes upward, I give a silent nod to the thing of the stars as a guidance. If you do manage, maybe you'll be my new apprentice. I believe the heavens have a plan for him. He has turned 16. Again, he's the designator now, so he's a intricate web weaver, although absent-minded, so based on his skills, no, he's not the man. I don't think he's suited to run the Republic. Plus 2 little traits, just and weary, sometimes paranoid. It'll all go to his head. Alright, finally. Large smuggle operation. Now we can make some real money here. Adverse has a peaceful province, but it's still volatile. The volatility needs to be rid of. Yep, you're definitely going to be my future apprentice. Who's there? Oh my god, that's a large host. That's the biggest one I've seen. Hold control, and then let them gather here. And when battle comes, then raise the rest of the forces here. Just gather around. Over the past few months, I've developed an elaborate cipher that I will use to encode my life's work. However, before I can continue to decide upon a direction which to take my opus, as a sum of all my knowledge is simply too great to be recorded in a single book. Well, since I'm into studying stars, I will focus my effort on writing on astrology. The movements of the stars and of planets will allow my successors to understand the mind of God. That's a large host. He is tiny, adventure, and he is a Viking, which means he has been raiding in the past in different areas, but now it's come to here. I did fear today that Vikings would be appearing here because they're going to be more attracted to us because of how prosperous we are. And of course, he's got a wife and child too. He's got some formidable fighters. And one who's physically weak. And of course, they're going to have to bring a tutor along if they need to learn something. Put me in a position of honor. You're the best commanders that I can provide. But wait for the morale to go up. At least we have the Knights retinue that can definitely defeat What do they have exactly? Light infantry, heavy infantry, and archers. Oh, we will definitely maul them with our cavalry. Heh heh heh. Just give it a moment. Just keep going up. They are looting our area, but we will strike at them. The peasant revolt is over in Monte Sant'Angelo, so now it's ruled by this new count. Anyways, let's move out. We'll be there in 2 days, because it doesn't take long to travel from one area to the other. And more reinforcements will be coming in, another 1,000's worth. So that way we have a fighting chance. And stay out. Steward yours. Hey, would you like to be recruited? Yeah, come on in. Why serve under them if you could serve under us? You can be a legal tutor. Because you have the skills. I mean, there is room for further education. They should be tutored. I mean, I don't know about this. Perhaps you should spend the money to go get another tutor. So you got your philosophical tutor and the legal tutor, but we need more tutors. About administration. Lexios, alright. Welcome aboard. Because I know there are some people that want to get into administration in one's convenience. Okay. See report of the next sector we start. There are large storms threatening the area at this time of the year. This will most likely slow down the research teams. I'll buy them proper tires, which of course puts us back in the depth again, but it's only temporary. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I have made an ample headway in recording my knowledge on the subject of the stars and planets, but it's still too vast to touch upon all that makes up astrology. It will be necessary to narrow the focus of my efforts even further and write only one of astrology's aspects. I will focus on the stars. The stars hold extensive knowledge. The proper reading of them will bring one closer to God. Because since these bastards looted a very valuable province, that's gonna hurt the income. Alright, there's a lot of potential in this, man. Faith, oh, may others count on you. Diligent. Now let's go hunting. Find a white stag. Trish Savas sent a sycophants torment me once more, spreading vile words about me. Everybody at court is whispering how indolent and apathetic I am, claiming I entirely lack the will to rule. How dare he? He's antagonizing me. There's going to be issues with this. She's invited to the banquet. Alright, same result as I did with Father, who recently passed. A white hart has been seen north of Amalfi. I am told it is a heart of 10 and the biggest deer I've ever seen. This is my kill. No effect, that means I got it, I hope. And a Eurodite. You are definitely gonna get a higher education for this. And he just became chaste, that means a little more learning. Okay. It is done. It is finished. After a year of sweat and toil, I have managed to produce a grand work on stellar astrology. This tome shall stand the test of the ages, ensuring my knowledge and name shall conquer time itself. It will serve my successors well, and perhaps they will one day be able to add their knowledge to mine. God's truth is in the stars. So I wrote a Magnum Opus on stellar astrology. Let's look up here. This masterpiece Magnum Opus contains many secrets of stellar astrology, but has been equipped with elaborate science for allowing only the brightest to decipher it. Only those with higher learning or member of the Hermetic Society will get to have +1 martial intrigue and learning. If you're lacking in something. I am told by the educators that my son Tassilo remains interested in diplomacy. What he wants, it's what he gets. Don't spend money too much. You might be spending more because you're looking for a resource here. Don't be a big spender. I'm a bit concerned about my friend eating so much so that she is not good for her health. She started to grow a pot belly and she does not look far from getting another chin. Well, she's a bit dull, so I'll just tell her to eat less. She may not know. My friend's taking on advice and finally started to eat less. She looks in better shape, slimmer, more graceful. It is appropriate for a lady of her stature. Still with the 2 cardinals. There is apparently an old folk tale about this area. Something about a magic bush or similar thing that must not be disturbed. The elder of one of the local villages is hysterically telling my workers to leave. Send my spy master to deal with him. My friend has been letting herself go lately. Was once graceful and delicate woman, slowly becoming an undignified, hefty glutton. Only excited about her next week's feast. I told you to eat less! God dang it. I need to warn her as politely as I can. Because of my high diplomacy skill, I'll use all my tech to inform Lutapega that she has a problem. She should stop eating so much. Heed my words. My hunting dog needs proper training as to perform well during hunts. Perhaps I should take a hand in this myself. Yes, I will train him personally. I'll spend time outside training my dog. I need to stop being lazy and be more diligent. That's what hunts are for. My son Lupus has truly found himself in a destiny my horoscopes predicted so long ago. He makes a fine schema. Maybe it's because he was born under the Capricorn. He had his intrigue education upgraded. Really? Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Lord knows what it'll be like for these other children when they grow up and have their educations improved. I was relieved to see my words not go unheard. She thanked me for my concern and promised that she will start dieting immediately. Now she goes on a hard diet to get back into shape. And he's the best fighter. Okay, I think I found my candidate right here in CK2. Oh my goodness, Sardinia? Sardinia's in danger. Advanced spawn troops. And he is a member of the Order of Santiago. The event spawn troops is from the Holy Order that he's hired. I cannot intervene because I've adopted a policy of isolation and let's just manage ourselves, get it back to being financially stable and all that. And you say you wish to be a diplomat, and you're gonna get it. Bardas, you'll be the man of the job for this. Oh, summon a divine being time. She's been studying stars lately, so... yeah, let's use these ingredients. Put it to use. Okay, the time to pay the loan has arrived. There. No more loans. And pray tell me the operation of the stars. Is a greedy, slothful idiot, this Bishop Pardos. I think I remember this guy. Magus Achilles. Oh, yeah, I remember all of you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go mess his stomach. It's not hard to locate his laboratory. Achilles tells me as we enter the castle while old Pardos has no talent for keeping secrets. Doesn't know how to hire proper guards. He continues. I'm about the opposite. Go ahead. I ain't got the money to bribe, but I have an ingredient, so let's use that. Other alternatives wouldn't do any good, so 71% chance this may work. But this is a potion that's... the ingredient's going to be made from liver. Divine being has given me cryptic advice on the pursuit of astrology. So that didn't work. By some miracle, Magus Achilles manages to empty the little vial of potion in the jug before it's brought to the guards. Within a quarter of an hour, they are snoring softly. We must hurry. The sedating effect won't last forever. I whisper as we sneak past. What now, brother? Achilles asks what we're inside. You know what, I'm confident. You focus on destruction, I'll search items for value, because I need the money. Because I'm a greedy bastard. Slothful idiot, you call me. Just as I'm about to pour acid over Pardos' notes, the door opens behind me. I whirl around to find myself staring into the panicked eye of Achilles. A split second, I notice the guards holding him. Run, he shouts. But it's too late. Oh my goodness. They got us. I'm in prison. Hold the fort, Cardinal. Hey, listen, release me. I mean, you're a swell guy. I know you call me a thief. Yes, I'm left-handed. I'm cynical. I'm homosexual. But then again, the guy ain't all that bright. His opinion of me just lowered because of pawning diplomacy. I reached to the point where I'm willing to shamelessly beg for water when the guards drag me from my cell. Must have fainted. Next thing I see is a scornful face. Well, 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 my guards have caught one laughable crook indeed. After some further insults, he offers me my freedom in exchange for some of my deepest secret knowledge. Like what? Oh, esoteric knowledge? Oh, I got a lot of these. Okay. So I'll be released from prison. So here you go. Alright, you morons, I'm back. And I'm sticking with the hunting. I can groom the air. Since I have not named one. And I believe you're the golden child here. Because some of the other skills on base skill doesn't look as good. So, you're likely the man to do so. So, as said before, you are to be the designated heir. But before I will groom you, I'm gonna go hunting. Because that's my thing. Oh yeah, since Fauna passed away, I need a new domain overseer, which we'll have to save up money for that. A white heart again. My kill. Oh! Been wounded. Don't worry, I'll get better. Learned Jewish man. He comes from highly recommended in arts of bookkeeping and administration. Ari's suggests several ways of improving the bureaucratic efficiency of the realm. Could potentially make a fine steward. He better damn well be. And the university that I'm sponsoring has sent me a wonderful illuminated book as thanks for my support. Oh, it did come here. Okay. The content orientation set of speeches to the Roman Senate by Cicero accusing the captain of leading a plot to overthrow the government. Cicero's style is one of the most influential in European literature. Didn't I already have a diplomacy related book? No. Just be glad while I was in prison he didn't take any of my artifacts that I have equipped. Say, I got hurt. What the flying? He's a count of this and that and the other, but it's just a lot of titles. Apparently, those from the Peloponnese have created their own kingdom, Moria. That independent Greek state has strengthened itself as of late. One day, want that trade post and probably seize that city of theirs. It's all a matter of taste and preference. Oh, I forgot he's the barony and he's the holder of many cities. He's the heir to the Republic and all that, and that may cause issues. Keyword may. Obvious is obvious. Yeah, I got wounded from the hunting. Happens sometimes. Hey, the Jewish Council. I mean, he's better, but he'll have to do, because Jewish counselors are a must-have. Please improve the domain. Well, I've rushed around to get everyone to work harder, not smarter to get everyone's back. When the guests started arriving, waiting impatiently for I still did my best to make sure every guest felt welcome by us. She never showed up. Well, sad. The grand hunt is over for now, but I got wounded, so I can't hold a second hunt until I am better. Yep, definitely him. In the past months, I've been spending a lot of time outside training my trusty hunting dog. I find that the combination of daily physical exercise and fresh air are doing wonders for my health and constitution. Hunter, catch! Yes, finally diligent. Now you start to go on the right path here. Instead of being a lazy bum, now I'm dutiful and diligent. Now I need to get rid of Slothful and become patient again. Amnunad Limsos, my steward, has several contacts among the Radonites. This Jewish merchant network supposedly stretches across the entirety of the Known World, from Western Europe all the way to distant Cathay. And these contacts have been a great boon to the development of the realm's economy. Excellent luck. Oh, him again. He's been active, huh? Well, your stewardship, you are lustful. I'll go ahead with the plan. Good. We need to get along because, well, there's no factions right now. Well, you can't win everything. I tell you what, CK, when is your birthday? Oh, in a few days. Yes. He's a mastermind theologian. He's very wise. I tell you what. I'm gonna introduce you to the realm. So to the Amalfi court. As I said, you are the breadwinner of this family. And we're gonna groom you. There. Quit screwing around. Constantinos is a renowned fighter and tactician, having introduced himself to CK, approached me and offered. He's willing to spend some time teaching on to fight exchange for my favor. Yeah, his is kind of low. He's a good fighter, but he could be a bad potential commander. Yeah, give it to him. Really do not like the fact. It appears there's a number of non-knowledgeable ruffians and bandits in the area. It would be too dangerous to send my men without protection. He'll deal with it. You're the former town guard. He'll know what to do. Well, let's hope it's only good things. He got it. Hope only for good. Oh, it's a 50-50. He didn't get it. Lowered his intrigue. That's gonna be his Achilles heel. After much calculations, consolidations, and designs were done, there was finally a price for building a provincial road to be a reality. It's up to me to check how much work it cost. Hope it's not too much. Okay. Build the provincial roads. Amalfi will have a road network for the next 30 years here. Good. While having a pleasant conversation, I'm suddenly interrupted by an infernal ruckus. Upon further investigations, it seems as if CK has gone into a fight with a child of one of the visiting vassals, tearing the two children apart. It's obvious that CK and Costande Moro will not be friends in this encounter. Only the best and brightest will succeed. Old Cardinal. Anything for him. He may not be a genius as I, but still, he could be a great apprentice in the future. Alright, started getting incredibly long, incredibly well. Oh, that's good. After, despite the fact that I believe it's the family that we're dealing with, or am I thinking of something else? Langobard Orthodox. Who raised you? But at least there will be cooperation. The Byzantine Empire has taken this area back. That spells trouble. Oh, that's why. The book I am reading is dense and full of complex ideas about philosophy and the meaning of life. Even though the characters, plot, and setting are interesting, the book itself is extremely difficult to read and I feel like I cannot finish it. Bear through it, I must discover its meaning. So there's a 50% chance of nothing, along with 10% chance of getting a skill. That's one of the 6 must have it. Or with no effect and I'd be experiencing much stress, which will be lowering all my skills and health for next year. Or I would become stressed or depressed. Bear and grin. Grin and bear it. Experiencing much stress. Alright, well done. That's my boy. Oh, for God's sakes, I want that culture changed. Amalfi needs to be Langobard. 300 grace. He needs to go to a center of higher learning. Send an artifact that you don't give a damn away. Well, she hasn't been worth much, but the value is there. Here you go. Now, son, you're the smartest one of the entire house. You're erudite. You are going to the Imperial Academy in China. Off you go. You'll be a student over there. I only do that for the smartest. For now, the heir is Lupus. But until he returns, then... because of your intrigue, it'll be you for now. We'll miss the old sister. Good God. Jewish Kazan. Raiding. Maybe we ought to go help them out. They're defenseless. Oh, it's volatile again. Let's give them support. Zaldo is another absent-minded child. And stay out. Chase him down. It's going all the way over there, I assume. No, don't do that. And they still want to embezzle me. All gone. You win. Now go home. At this time, the location of the land is right next to the border of another realm. The nobles will most likely see this as an insult. I'll send a Chancellor to deal with that. Yeah, I didn't go hunting this year. Because we had to go save that country from being conquered. Now you're in that prison over there. Yeah. 2 years, and then we'll get to write another book. God. Still no room for another trade post. Because adult male members of court, because sons are still growing up, and one is away for further education. I realized I was going to combat wounded. Doge Salerno insults me. There, it's gone. Now I remember what I was supposed to spend my money on. Get a new domain overseer. Because I can't handle this all my own. Damn, I don't know. Sabas. What happened? 'Cause he's Jewish, isn't it? Well, you take up stewardship. Take up the steward position, I say. Ow, ow. Just pinched myself. Many years of my life have been spent dedicated to the Hermetic Society. The performing missions and tasks in the interests of the Order and its Magus. Today all that effort's been rewarded. As I become the new Magus, my fellows now look to me for leadership and guidance. And leadership and guidance I shall provide. I got all this esoteric knowledge, I don't even know what to do with them. I haven't been hearing a lot from her. But I'm trying to discourage her from that path that she's been taking. Don't discredit her, she's good. Still not humble. Landslide supporting us. They are burying several villages and killing many. Let's try to help the victims as much as we can. Because I be the leader who cares. And, how long will this last? Of the effects here? for 2 years. Organized fleet detective pirates. Happens a lot when you live in a coast. You'll be a great counselor no matter what. I am visiting a village in my realm on some business. Before I leave, I stopped by an herbalist shop out on a whim, and I realized there were so many different kinds of herbs, plants, minerals, and so on. That one could use to make potions and poisons. An herbalist, an older woman with a stern face, looked annoyed at me for mindlessly lowering, but said nothing. Hey, a healthy lifestyle is pretty good, so... Again, could give you all this good health, which you can't tell. Can I borrow, can I purchase some merchants for physicians to use? Total victory! And Amalfi is peaceful, once again. Oh, God blasted. Get the money from the Jewish merchants. You just can't help yourself, can you? Still not recovered from my wound. My son writes to me from China with the bad news. Apparently he gifted a clock to a professor and they got deeply offended. CK2 now asks me for funds to help smooth the relations. Well, son of a beeswax. Perceived lack of virility. Rumor has it this grown man doesn't have enough experience with women. Because he's a student, he can't be focusing on women. Here's 50 gold. A small price for education. Hey, peg leg. In fact, how did you lose your leg? I don't remember. What happened to you? He's a theologian. Oh, can't beat that. My brother, and as you know, we're always in need of more ingredients for our experiments. These experiments are sent to uncover the mysteries of the world. I propose a joint venture to combine our knowledge in effort to identify and gather ingredients so that research for truth will not be halted by such words as material shortage. Yes, of course. I also should write a theorem paper. Find useful materials in the marketplace. Because I have the knowledge. Ask of those around me. Pray tell me to operate stars and hopefully get it better. Yes, I'm doing these 2 at once. You can actually do 2 of them. My son CK2's truly found himself a destiny my horoscope predicts so he is to make a fine scholar. Since he's already have the highest in education, he will now pick up 2 learning. And he already did. Good. That didn't work. Yes, there are 2 going on at the same time. That means you're getting even more ingredients. Old debts. When I met Serena Hill, she reminded me that I owed her a favor. About idle talk, she proceeded to state her request in order for the favor to be paid. What? Political support? Oh, what's worse? Well, she wants political support, so therefore she get it, and I didn't lose diplomacy. And I'm all better from my wound. Do you know what that means? Oh, right. I'm out gathering. No, not gathering. You're getting ingredients from the marketplace. You big dummy. So no hunt this year, so... Okay. Slipping by the stalls, nearly every single one of them has an interesting on it. Merely poke at Hermelinda and make her aware of it that she puts on the smooth talking. After haggling, people almost ends up giving us the items for free. So that's 35 gold, and you gained 4 alchemical ingredients. And here comes more. Keep your name out of my mouth. Keep my name out of your mouth, I should say. And we got 5 more ingredients. Let me see here. Okay, we got gold, acaregia, acavotis, tin, mercury, acaregia. Oh, actually 2 of them, okay. Silver and brimstone. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should close this episode right now, as it has gone long, as we're in need of a great counselor again, because the man is resting again, even though he needs to get us work. Can't give her a horoscope because, you know, I don't know what's good for the bastard child other than faith. She should grow up to be a nun, to be quite honest with you. A truly revolutionary paper on distillation. It explores new methods of the process which might enable the creation of a variety of exciting new alchemical elixirs. Send it out. Okay, last event. Commoners have always told tales about corpses rising from the dead if their funerals are not performed properly, or if they died in unjust ways. Lately I hear more and more rumors about such occurrences in our region, but the scholars and clergy assure me that these things are mere superstitions. No true believer of the Catholic faith would ever believe such drivel. As a cynic, I say, you can never be so sure, right? Maybe the peasants are right. I'm gonna be paranoid about this. Didn't pick it up. Nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. So, that's what it says. Rumors of the undead around here. So, the Republic has recovered. Recovered well. As we are strong again. And maybe one day, and... don't know about that. About fighting a war to take another trade war. Because, well, we may have to look for a trade post instead. After all, we do have a city over here. And a city there. Perhaps we need to get a new trade post out somewhere. Somewhere it has a trade zone that nobody has. But unfortunately all this is owned under the Republic of Ragusa. All along the coast, so it'll be hard to find the suited. So I'm sure we'll find something to get a trade post in. So we hope you people enjoyed this episode, as things keep changing for better or worse of this ever-changing world. And as he's in his 40s, one thing's for certain in the next episode. He is going to compose another book this year. And he'll have to pay it back to the moneylenders, and one of these days he's got to get rid of his anger issues. Because it's a hindrance for stability in the realm. And all that and more. But in the next episode, till then, so long for now.